Everybody knows that trucks are awesome. Everybody also knows that gas is expensive. So, how much does it actually cost you to drive that big ass gas sucking truck day after day after day, all day long on your commute? Well, we're going to do a bit of math in this video and find out. We're going to assume gas is $4 a gallon. This is my Chevy truck. The question is, this thing probably averages 12 miles per gallon. So, does it make sense to have another vehicle other than this truck? Spoiler alert, I have another car and I have motorcycles, but we're going to do the math and figure out if it makes sense for me to have another car or drive a motorcycle rather than driving this truck all the time.
So what does it cost to drive a truck? Well, first of all, don't believe what the government says about the gas mileage. Trucks get crappy mileage. It's just physics because the truck is heavy. So let's say we're going 60 miles an hour in my truck, which gets 12 miles per gallon. You divide that out, you get 5 gallons in those 60 miles. If it's $4 a gallon, that's $20 every 60 miles. So if it's $20 to go 60 miles, how much does that cost every minute? 60 minutes equals, and you can stop right here if you have a truck, because this is going to make you want to sell your truck. You're spending 0.33333, that's half of the number of the beast, 33.33333 cents per minute. So if your truck was a video game machine from the 1970s, you'd be pumping quarters in it at a rate of more than 1 per minute to keep your truck running. So that is the frightening mathematical truth of that. Now let's say you drive 10,000 miles a year. Divided by 12 mpg equals 833.333 gallons. So multiply that by $4 a gallon, and you have an annual cost to drive your truck of 3,333.333, half of the long number of the beast. So then you might ask yourself, does it make more sense to buy yourself a car that gets better mileage and have a second car and just drive your truck for fun? That's what I did. So let's take a look at my second car.
Behold the Saab 92X. Sporting sedan with symmetrical all-wheel drive. You can't have one of these. They only made 10,000. They're incredibly rare and hard to find. And they were made by Subaru, so they're very much like the Subaru Impreza, which means you got four-wheel drive, symmetrical, and it gets decent gas mileage, probably 23, 24 in the city and 27, 28 on the highway. So let's do some math.
All right, so the Subaru gets 24 mpg on average. It's better on the highway, a little worse around the city, but actually 23 in the commute. So we'll call it 24 overall. So if I do that, that's double the mileage of my truck. So truck 3333 Subaru equals 1666, the number of the beast. And so I'm saving myself $16.66 a year, which is more than it cost me for insurance and gas and oil and such for that Subaru. It doesn't really pay for buying it. If you bought a real junker, let's say you buy a real junker, like let's say an old Nissan Sentra or a Ford Focus or something that gets even better mileage, how much could you save? Because this right here, it'll take a few years for you to pay for your cheap car that you buy to drive instead of your truck. So what if we rerun this scenario at 36 miles a gallon? All right, so at 36 mpg, your savings are 2222. So $2,222 savings if you get 36 miles a gallon over driving the truck. So now it's starting to make a little bit of sense if you can get a reliable car. But everybody knows that cars are lame. And motorcycles rule. So what if you got a motorcycle Let's see how much money you'd save over the truck if you had a truck and a motorcycle and you rode the motorcycle whenever it wasn't raining or snowing. So here's an example of a big motorcycle, 1200 cc's, about 100 horsepower, weighs close to 500 pounds. Loads of fun to ride. All right, big bike math. Big bike. Now the truth about a big bike is you get about 40 miles per gallon overall. So that's pretty close to a small and wimpy car is a big and manly bike. So you end up, with the big bike, you end up saving $2,333 per year. So not bad. But if you get a little bike that gets really good mileage, like this bike that we're talking about is 1200 cc's. So let's say we drop it down to 500 cc's. And this is a small motorcycle, 500 cc's, under 400 pounds, thumps along, maybe makes 20 horsepower, gets fantastic gas mileage. 500 is half the size of a bike that gets 40 miles per gallon, so does it get 80? Not really. No, you're already getting, I think that's reasonably conservative. I think that's what I get on my Honda, and the Royal Enfield might get 60, but let's go with 55 miles per gallon. You save $2,606 over your truck. So the answer is, get yourself a motorcycle, save this money. The motorcycle will be paid for in a year or two, and then it'll all be gravy after that. Now, I haven't mentioned insurance or registration. If you're a young man, always get an insurance quote before you buy a vehicle, because some classes of vehicles, they're just going to rip you off to the point where it's not worth owning. And registration, buy something more than 10 years old and it'll be relatively cheap. And truck-wise, buy a Chevy truck. Or if you really want to save money and gas and get into shape, put some slick tires on your mountain bike and ride that to work.